Well, good evening. This is the first installment of JP's Cooking Show. And tonight I'm going to cook something brand new that I've never tried before. In fact, I can't find anywhere on the internet that anybody's ever done this before. But I'm going to cook a super healthy meal, and I'm going to actually stuff a roaster. That's right, you heard me right. I said stuff a roaster. And I'm going to show you how to do it right back over here on this counter. And instead of using stuffing or potatoes or something crazy like that, I'm going to stuff it with broccoli and cauliflower and some onion and jalapeños and fresh garlic and some apple. Then I'm going to put a little bit of Pam spray on it, a little salt and pepper, and then I'm going to put it in a cooking bag so that everything stays super moist and doesn't dry out. Then we're going to cook that for about an hour and a half, hour and a quarter, until you reach about 180 degrees on your chicken. Then once you reach 180 degrees on your chicken is ready to eat, and everything in it is super healthy. The chicken is super healthy, the way you've cooked it is super healthy, all your veggies are healthy, and your chicken should take on, if I'm doing this right, should take on the flavor of the veggies. So, let's begin. I've already done a little bit of prep work. Some of the prep work I've done is I've already cut my chicken open. Always do remember that when you're dealing with chicken, make sure you keep your surfaces nice and clean. I've got my chicken on a plastic bag so that it doesn't touch the actual countertop. And if you do put it on the countertop, just make sure that you'll wash it when you're done. But here is Mr. Chicken, big fryer, chicken wave, chicken says hello. And we're going to stuff that cavity right there. Now before we turned you on tonight, I had already gone in and cleaned out the two cavities that are right here in the front of the chicken underneath the front opening of where the breasts are at. That my mom used to call the poop section. You got to clear all that out. Some of the membranes are in there, and you clear it out so it's nice and clean. When you look inside, you'll see all pink. It's all pink. And so here's our roaster. We're going to set it down. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to rinse our vegetables. And so as you can see, I've already put in broccoli, cauliflower. There are carrots in there for flavor. I won't eat the carrots because of the sugar involved in them, but I will eat the cauliflower and the broccoli, and I'll eat the bell pepper, and I'll eat the jalapenos, and I'll eat some of the apple even. But I won't eat the carrots. Carrots are actually very high in calories, interestingly enough, and lots of sugar. So you want to make sure you rinse those nice and good. Shake them so that you get all that excess water out. We're going to set that aside. Then I'm also going to add mushrooms. I like to use white mushrooms because they seem to be more flavorful. They seem to have more of a head on them. Of course, don't make too much water or get yourself all wet. So I like to hand wash the mushrooms. I'm probably going to put 4 or 5 mushrooms in my chicken. So that way we can add a little bit of flavor, and plus I'll be able to eat the mushrooms when they're done. I love eating mushrooms. So we're going to wash our mushrooms. You know, put a little scrub on them because they might get a little slimy or have some dirt on them left over from the ground. The exciting thing is I can't find anybody's ever done this before, and I've got a lot of people that are in the food and nutrition business that do this for a living that say they've never heard it, and they're kind of excited to see how it turns out. So hopefully you're kind of excited to see how it turns out as well. So we're going to do 6 mushrooms. So wash your mushrooms. And put those in a Ziploc bag in a minute. Then we're going to take our onion. I've already peeled an onion. If you've never peeled an onion, I always cut both ends off, do a slice down the side, grab the very last peel, and I just kind of start peeling it off to where my onion is nice and clean. This is a big onion. Now, I'm not going to dice it. I'm going to cut it down the middle, and then I'm going to cut it in half again. And that's how I'm going to cook my onion. I'm going to put half of it inside the chicken. And in fact, I'm going to go ahead and quarter it because the chicken opening may not be big enough, and just in case it's not, then I'll just stick quarters inside the chicken. And then I'm going to put the rest of the onion inside the cooking bag right next to it. Because remember, you got to put a little water in your cooking bag, which we'll go over here in a minute, to make sure that the cooking bag keeps everything moist and the chicken doesn't stick to the cooking bag. And also, you got to make sure that you punch holes in the top of your cooking bag, about 4 or 5 holes with a fork, just to make sure that that air can release so you don't blow up your cooking bag while you're cooking. So we've cut up our onion. We're going to put our onion right there inside. And just in case we can get a whole half of an onion in, we're going to stick that in there. We're going to take the rest of our onion and we're going to set it over to the left side, or to my left side anyways. And then we're going to get ready to now, and this is fresh garlic. Let me come up nice and close. These are nice, big, hearty garlic cloves. I love fresh garlic. Fresh garlic is good for you. It makes you smell good. Oh, yeah, it really doesn't make you smell good, but it tastes great. And if you brush your teeth and floss afterwards, you should be okay. But the garlic adds a super amount of flavor to you. It's very, very healthy for you. Now the way I'm going to do this is, and I'm going to take my knife, hold it sideways, just like that. I'm going to go on top of the garlic, and I'm going to simply apply a little bit of pressure. You can either push down, I like to punch down for the dramatics of it. So I punch down, and it makes it really easy then to peel. Voila. Peel is off, all of it is. I'm going to cut off just the very tail end at the top, and the very tail end at the bottom. And I'm going to put that there. And I'm going to take my clove of garlic and I'm going to cut it in half. And we're going to stuff that bird with a full head of garlic. Now, I'm going to cut up another fresh clove of garlic. Whoops, I'm not throwing it all over the place. Another fresh clove of garlic, because I'm going to put that in the water with the rest of my onion. And again, as you notice, by doing that with your knife, and I'm sure you already know how to do that, the peel comes off very easily. Again, I'm going to cut off the end and a little part of the end over here to release some of the flavor of the garlic. And I'm going to leave this one, actually I'm going to go ahead and cut it in half. So we've got 2 full pieces of garlic. Now for the jalapeno I think is going to add a little bit of flavor to it. When I do the apple, it's going to be like an apple jalapeno flavor with some onions and all the other good stuff mixed in. So I'm going to cut the end off with the stem, and I'm going to cut the tip off. And I'm going to throw that away. Now I'm going to put this whole jalapeno inside the chicken. I'm not going to dice it up or cut it up. When it's done, I'm going to eat it whole like this as well. So there's our jalapeno. And hopefully it won't make the chicken really hot or spicy. Of course, again, nobody's ever done this before, so I'm not real sure. But of course, my wife's not a big fan of spicy, so we're going to have to see how that works out. But hopefully it doesn't make it spicy, just gives it that jalapeno flavor, because she does like the jalapeno flavor. I'm going to cut up another jalapeno. And I'm going to put this in the water with my extra onion. So I'm going to set this one over to the side as well. Now, you can't go anywhere without some bell pepper. So I'm going to cut a couple slices of my bell pepper, because you don't need a lot, because we don't want the bell pepper to overpower. And this bell pepper has a really good smell to it, so we definitely don't want to overpower our chicken. So we're going to cut up our bell pepper. We're just going to slice the bell pepper. Don't need to do anything more than slice it. Make sure you clean your seeds out. We're just going to take it and we're going to slice it. And so we're going to do 3 big slices like that, and 3 big slices like that. And again, don't be afraid for your slices to be pretty good size. Let me come up close. See that? That's not too terribly big, and it's going to be good to stuff inside your bird. So now we've got our bell pepper cut up. We're going to add that into there as well. So that, and of course I don't think we're going to get all of this in our chicken. I'm probably going to put a couple mushrooms inside, some broccoli, and then we'll put the rest inside the cooking bag so we have fresh vegetables when we're done. And everything here is fresh, nothing canned, everything is fresh. So now we're going to take our apple, and we are going to cut the end of our apple, cut the other end of our apple, and we're going to simply slice along the edges, just like that, our core. And then we're going to cut off some of the brown spots. We have a few brown spots here. Don't want any brown spots if we can avoid them. Okay, good. Good. So you can see we have a beautiful apple here. This is going to make our chicken sweet. So I'm very excited about that. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to dice this apple into chunks, which will make it a very, very fun thing to eat with our veggies. So we'll do that. And do that. And again, we're going to add a lot of flavor to our chicken. And I'm way excited about adding flavor to our chicken. Cannot wait to do that. So there we go. And I'm going to put the rest of the apple in with the cooking bag with our other extra vegetables. So when we get ready to eat, we can scoop it out and we can go to town. So I'm going to go ahead and just finish slicing this. I'm not going to dice it. I'm going to cut it sideways 3 times, cut it in half. These are our bigger chunks. These will go inside with our onion and our jalapeno. And we'll cut this into 3s as well. And choose any apple that you like. I think this is a Gala apple that we picked. Gala apples have got a good flavor to them, nice taste to them. It's going to give a nice aroma to the chicken. So I'm super excited about that. So really we have got everything ready to go to stuff our bird. And remember, make sure that you clean your bird out really well. You don't want to have any of that stuff left in those two cavities, because if you do, you're probably going to get sick from what you're doing. Now, a lot of people have argued, well, by stuffing the bird, you can have foodborne illnesses. You need to go to the USDA website. That's a bit of a myth, because once we cook them inside the chicken and everything is cooked, all the foodborne illnesses go away. Now, if we leave it outside and we put the veggies in and we try to eat them raw and the chicken's not fully cooked, that could be a problem for us. But if you fully cook the chicken and you stuff it, you're going to be just fine. I've been eating stuffed birds forever. Cornish game hens, turkeys, chickens, and I'm okay. Well, or at least I think I'm okay. So, now we're going to take and we're going to stuff our bird. And I like to hold Tommy the two-note here. We're going to call him Tommy two-note. Hello! Tommy says hello to everybody out there in the world. So we're going to go ahead and start stuffing Tommy. So we're going to go ahead and add some bell pepper in there. And let's add a couple mushrooms. And you know what? We're going to go ahead and cut the mushrooms in half, I think. It's a big bird, but not that big of a bird. So we're going to cut our mushrooms. Actually, we're going to quarter our mushrooms. So we're going to throw that in there just like that. Stuff him full of mushrooms and push that down. Then we're going to add our jalapeno. We're going to put him in there. Then we're going to add our onion. Then, so that we can have fun, we're going to add some broccoli and some cauliflower. And some more broccoli. We're going to stuff this old bird full of good stuff. No stuffing, no mashed potatoes, just good old-fashioned raw veggies. Stuff that in there. Then we're going to take some apple. And we're going to stuff some apple here on the end so we can close it up with lots and lots of flavor. And so there is our bird, nice and stuffed. You want to take and you want to fold the clothes over just like that. If you've got a toothpick, you want to grab a toothpick, and you can put a toothpick in there to keep the skin closed. I'm going to put it in a cooking bag anyways. It's going to be just fine. I don't even care if it comes out just a little bit. So now, I have a large cooking bag. And that's what a cooking bag looks like. And I'm going to open it up. And I am going to get it to where it's nice and open. Then, I'm going to grab our bird here. Well, first I'm going to put our cooking bag. I've chosen a ceramic or Pyrex type or ceramic type dish, and it's great. The bird's going to fit in. I've already checked it. Make sure you check to make sure your bird fits in what you're going to use. And so I've already checked it. So I'm going to put my cooking bag inside my dish. And I'm going to tell you, well, I can't wait to cook this bird. It already is looking good. Heck, I can already smell it. It smells good. It hasn't even started cooking yet. So we're going to take our bird, and we are going to carefully put it in the bag, inside the dish. And as you can see, that little feller fits just right. In fact, let's do a close-up, shall we? This is the close-up cam. Close-up cam, close-up cam, close-up cam. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Close-up cam, see? Bird fits in there really nice in a plastic bag. And that cooking bag is going to do amazing things for our chicken. Close-up cam, close-up cam, close-up cam. So, we take our bird back. Now, we are going to, on the top of the bird, of course I won't eat any of the skin. Feel free to do so yourself, but it's got a little bit of fat and calories in it. A little sea salt on top. Then we're going to put some pepper on top as well. A little salt and pepper on top of our bird. Then, almost forgot, I don't use oil or butters. Not during the week. On Sunday I'll eat whatever I want. But during the week I eat well. This is Pam. And I've had a lot of people tell me, John, go with the olive oil. First of all, I'm not a real big fan of the olive oil taste that sometimes leaves on my food. Plus it's a lot of calories. This, no calories. Just some cooking spray, just so I get a little substance. It will help brown the skin. So I'm just going to lightly spray a coating on my chicken. So now I'm going to take my other vegetables and I'm going to add them around my chicken. There's my onion. Here's some apple. See that? Doesn't that look fantastic? Here's some more mushrooms and